One of the things I love about gardening is the fact you can get creative with the plants that you have. For example, you can have plants in individual pots to create startling colour effects, or you can have your own miniature garden forming, just as you can see right here. In this video, I'll be highlighting a very special, to me at least, Carnivorous plants miniature garden, which has quickly taken the focal point out of my entire Carnivorous plants collection. My name is Jerry from Succulent Flytraps. Miniature garden I was talking about earlier. Here it is right here. Now, if you've probably known by seeing my Facebook posts, I did post about bees that were coming out here. Now, I don't see them anymore. The reason is because we went on a holiday recently. We came back 3 days ago, and in that time I had to give this whole tray to my mum, who lives in Casula, to look after, to make sure it was well watered. And because I've taken it away, the bees have now pretty much abandoned this place. Hopefully they'll come back soon. It really did add a beautiful effect seeing those bees here around these carnivorous plants. Now, the reason why I gave it to my mum is because this drip tap that I've got here, it's working right now, but doesn't work consistently, so I've got to keep an eye out on it. I'll get to that later, but I just wanted to show you here this garden. Look how beautiful it is. Now, this originally started off with just peat moss, which is the same medium that I grow my carnivorous plants, in this tray here. And it's about 6 months old. And what I started to do, I started to put the top layer, which is these pieces of moss, which I took off from my pot plants when I repotted them. And instead of throwing it all out, I just put them in here, bits and pieces, and the moss has come up really nicely. Now, here in the middle, I've got sphagnum moss growing, live sphagnum moss. I took a couple of pieces from my mum, who has a terrarium at home, and since I've put it in, it really has grown beautifully. Look at that. Now, these beautiful yellow flowers, they're from terrestrial bladderworts. Terrestrial bladderworts are very interesting plants because they grow traps underground, and somehow they trap organisms underground. But look at these beautiful flowers. They really are gorgeous and very interesting in their own right. Very soon I'm going to have pink flowers from the tropical sundews, which are growing. Whoops, let's focus here on this. There we go. They're going to be coming up very soon, and they're coming from these tropical sundews, or Drosera burmannii. I've got some growing in pumice stone planters, and I've also got some growing in the peat moss itself. And there's another one over here as well. Okay, now these fork shaped leaves, they're another type of sundew. That's the T-form, Drosera binata, I think they're called. And I had one growing accidentally in one of my pot plants, and from a leaf cutting I've put it in here, and it really has come up beautifully. Very, very interesting plant in itself. And there's another one over here. You can see the T-form happening. Yeah, there's another one there amongst all these terrestrial bladderworts. And that's what I love about this miniature garden, seeing all the plants interacting and growing together. I just love the openness of it, and you can really study the plants, see how they grow and interact. I just love being out here. And that's what gardening is all about, being creative and just enjoying being around your plants. And it's always a bonus when your garden gives something back, like it was here in my instance for the bees. They were coming here for a drink, but I think they have found another water source. So let's get to these pumice stone rock planters. This one over here, this was at the start of spring. I decided to put this Venus flytrap that was just waking up out of dormancy, and I've put that with some moss here and also some beautiful tropical sundews.
which have clumped together down there nicely. I've got another pumice stone planter here. Basically all I do is just drill a hole in the middle, put some peat moss in there, and put some moss in there as well, live moss. In this instance, this is live sphagnum moss growing with this big mouth Venus's flytrap. Looks like it's busily digesting there, judging by the closed traps. And down here there's another planter. In this instance I'll just put in some tropical sundews. Looks like they've caught some aphids there, which have really been prevalent here. Look how beautiful that yellow flower is, absolutely stunning. And just coming around here, this is a foot scrubber. Just love the texture of this pumice, which is different to the other one. This is a lot softer. I just love looking at that texture there, it's beautiful. And of course I put these tropical sundews in there, which are going to be flowering very soon, on the right there. And there's also one here on the left, very, very nice. Okay, so what else am I going to say? So this planter here doesn't have any holes in it, doesn't have any drainage, so I just thought I'm going to experiment here, see how the plants go, and it looks like they've been going pretty well. Now looking here at the back, as I said, this is just a basic watering device. I've just got a bucket here with a hole in the lid, so whenever it rains, water flows in there. That helps to keep that bucket nice and full whenever possible. And then in the bucket I've placed these wicks. These are just these are the leader, which is from mops. Just cut up some strips and I've just put them in the water and dripped it over laid it here over the edge, and it drips nicely. But as I said, it's not 100% consistent. It does sort of dry out every now and again, so I do have to keep my eye out on it. But yeah, it helps to keep this garden hydrated. Yeah, I just love the simpleness of it. But yeah, there you go. You can see here that it's not completely flat. There are some contours in there, which does make it a little bit more interesting as well. But yeah, it really is a special place here for me. Love to just chill out here after work and see what's happening, see what the plants have been catching, see how the plants are growing, and of course looking out for those bees. So until then, happy growing everyone. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interesting carnivorous plants videos. So until then, happy growing.